All right, Shalom Makim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that teaches word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And today, I just want to get into a lesson on pretty much the devices of the devil. And we're seeing desperation playing out in its height by the way of the so-called white man, passing these different draconian laws, making these different harsh measures to keep his head above float. Because ultimately, when you read Revelation, the 12th chapter, the 12th verse, scripture says that he knoweth that he have but a short time. And these are the one of the many signs that show you that we at the end of this man's kingdom. Pretty much that the implement, the mandating of the MOTB and World War III. And we seeing these events growing on the earth, man. So just the title itself of this article from Western Journal, it reads, government restricts ATM withdrawals to $45 per day in bid to force digital transactions. And that's all we got to read, man. Just that word force and digital show you that this is the time that we're in, man. Which this is concerning Nigeria. But ultimately, that's a prelude of what's about to take place worldwide. Matter of fact, let's start off with that in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, which spirit that's been going out lately, this chapter and verse, because this is the time that we're coming upon. Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And that shows how vital having his word is. This is the bridge to our salvation. The words of Yahushua, holding fast to the words of Yahushua, that would lead to us being kept from the hour of temptation, which is when the MOTB is mandated. When the line is going to be drawn in the sand, so to speak. Because the only way to continue in this system, for you to pay a bill or even put gas in your car, how much more food and water is going to be by the way of that charagma, which is going to be an actual device to be implanted in you, man. This is what that hour of temptation is going to be about when the devil bring forth the sea helps. And the only way to continue in this society, to function in this society, is you got to have that thing, man, that mark, that physical, mark, which is that sea help, man. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. See, so as you can see, this is a worldwide thing. Even though that's concerning Nigeria, that's not just going to be stuck in that region. Concerning Sweden, and, they got over 90-some% people with the sea help. That's not just going to stay over there. No, this is a global thing, man. And we seeing the steps that's leading towards this event on the planet Earth, which is the mandating of the sea help. And Esau has come with these different, ways to pitch it to you, the form of convenience. Even with these different the pseudo miracles of the Neuralink. We seeing the steps is gonna lead to this major event. When they talk about fraud and theft and all these things to lure you in to get it. And ultimately, it's going to come down to this man just going to put it on paper. If you don't take it, then you're going to starve. But that's why we have the greatest hope. We're going to lean on our power, Yahweh by Shema Shai, to keep us from these things, man. This 2 Corinthians 2:11, it reads, lest Satan should get an advantage of us. And that's ultimately what he wants. That's why the scripture talks about oppression shall not rise a second time. This is his wayward and his warped thinking of how he's going to get the advantage. Like I said, through the Spirit, this man is doing this out of an act of desperation. He understands that he have but a short time. The prophets has been awakened. The glory, the knowledge of the glory of the Lord is filling the earth. This truth is overwhelming this man, and that was one of the things that kept his head above water, was by the way of deception. It said, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So that shows you the key to overcoming this, man. It's nothing carnal. You stacking weaponry up to, even your beans and rice. That's not going to work. It says, for we are not ignorant of his device. So now we in the know through the Spirit and power, Yahweh by Shema Shai. His intentions are being made known. We see the play that he's running. And ultimately seeing that that bitter cry is getting louder and louder. These draconian laws, it's going to be more restrictions. They talking about another pandemic, or no, the Crown Vic is coming back. But guess what? We are not ignorant of his devices, so that shows that it's going to be to no avail. And ultimately, it's going to come down to him forcing it on you, by the way of these different laws and legislation. It's going to be a mandate that every matter of fact, let's just get it. Let's just go to Revelation 13. Because this is the season that we're in. The end of this beast system. Revelation 13:16, and it reads, and he causeth all. Now when you go into that word causeth, the word causeth actually means a mandate or an order. This is actually is going to be a decree. Just like in the time of Nebuchadnezzar in that image. When you read Daniel the 3rd chapter, the scripture talks about that Nebuchadnezzar had it was a decree that all should bow down to the image. He sent the herald, it tells you, to all nations, languages, and tongues. Oh, and also the scripture talks about what was written aforetime written for our learning. So those they're not in the records just to, in this modern time, to put it in a damn coloring book. No, we're gonna actually see this play out pretty much at its height. Even though that actually happened, that event actually took place with the 3 holy children. But the scripture talks about how Sodom was made in its sample. So that goes for, what happened in Daniel the 3rd chapter. That was a sample. That was a prelude of what was going to take place in this time as well, man. That it was going to be a certain decree that was going to take place. Which is for you to get that help to function in society. You know, they said he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, meaning no matter what status. Because it's going to be rappers and shit getting it, you know, to promote it, to lure a lot of people in. You know, you're going to have homeless people to get it. They're going to get so many credits or whatever, however they do it. You know, it says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that mark is concerning that charagma, the seal. This is a physical thing. Ain't nothing spiritual about Esau. What else could it be? You know, just going back to the article, where's the momentum heading towards? It's not forcing you to read John 3:16. It says to force digital transactions. This is what the world is heading towards, man. This is part of the devil's devices. You know? But that's where it's heading towards, the mandating of the sea help, this digital society, you know, pretty much trying to make you the Internet of Things. And then forehead is that why you got Neuralink, you know, was this nigga Elon Musk talking about he's confident that he can bring the sight of the people that was born blind. You know, those different miracles was gonna lure the people in, man. And that no man might buy or sell. So how can you buy or sell with Jesus Christ? You can't. But you can do it with a Cash App or Apple Pay or even with your phone. But it's gonna ultimately, it's gonna climax until you know, that device actually being inside your hand. And not just your wallet, your different doctor records and things of that nature. But it said, and no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And that's what you're seeing that now. You know, even with the Crown Vic, that pandemic, pretty much they had to where they trying to get rid of cash, hard body, even your somehow, some way, when the pandemic was going on, they running out of quarters and nickels and shit. You know, they didn't want to, you know, pay with cash because they can carry the virus and shit like that. You know, and it was a lot of restrictions without the jab. You know, you know, you gotta have the mask over your nose. And to submit you going to that store or buying some or into these certain establishments, you had to have that jab. You know, even for you to even have a job or for your children to go to school, whatever the case may be, in certain parts. You know, not even in Babylon, you had to have that jab, man. So how much more the charagma? You know? And this is going to be law. Like I said, that word causal goes into a decree. So matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Psalms 12 and verse 3. It reads, the Lord shall cut off all flattering lips and the tongue that speak of proud things. And this is concerning the so-called white man and his rhetoric. You know, because that's part of the flattering lips. This man talking about he's able to bring sight to the blind. The Lord's going to cut all that shit off. And the tongue that speak of proud things going into his laws, his legislations. You know, it says, who have said, with our tongue will we prevail? See? So the power of the pen, as they say, because this is going to be a law, man. Our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? This man saying that he is and none else beside him. That he is the Most High. That's why the scripture talks about let him not further his wicked device, lest he be exalted. And that device is concerning an actual device. It's a device which is plots and the plans, usually a evil plan, but that device actually going to lead to a device, which is that sea hip, man. You know, and just the title of the the article, to force digital transactions. That's where it's heading towards. You know, we in that time, we pretty much at the end of this B system. These are the last few things that have to be crossed off before this man be taken out. You know, this is one of these major prophecies that's taking place upon the planet Earth. You know, the MOTV. So yeah, I might just hold it for edifying. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, the teach the word in all true faith and sincerity. DTA, Abba Babal. Soon, very soon.